Hey, um, I got my cross in my room now. Um, well, the internet's running a lot slower because of COVID, and everybody's on the internet at the same time. So all of my uploads are taking like 6 hours. Um, I just found that out. I thought they were turned off altogether. So I'm not going to be doing uploads as often or anything like that. But I thought I'd show you all this progress that I've made with the cross since we've talked last. It's going to be kind of a fast video, so I can shove a lot in a short amount of time because I want to kind of do this in one upload. But basically, everybody saw the close-ups of the Korg-Kross when I showed it before. Now, one of the things that I was hoping that this had, and one of the things that I asked my person that I was interviewing at the keyboard store, right on years and years ago, was, and it was right when I was doing my paintings, so I had this concept about how important it is to be able to use layers. And one of the first things that I said was, how many layers does it do? Because I wanted to basically take what I knew about making a painting into making a song. Now, I'm not going to say this as if I know it for sure or if it's relevant in every case, but I think there's a strong possibility that there's a conspiracy as far as not divulging the entire truth about how songs are made. Now, with the capacity of what this cross can do and how long keyboards have been sort of in business for, I'm assuming that it's been going on for quite some time. Now, based on always knowing that, and maybe other people knowing that in their subconscious, I'm placed in a particular situation to sort of uncovering that up close and personal. So, and obviously wanting to go into the music industry, not that I'm in it to sort of uncover anything, I'm in it to be a part of it. Even if you find out that something isn't the truth, you're still excited to... The singing part is real, the people that made the Korg-Kross is real, the love that went in behind all sort of sections of the music industry is real, just not exactly how the turnout is in regards to there's 5 band members and then there's a soloist and everybody sat there and on cue they were inspired and then they just sort of drummed together this awesome song. Now that's the only part where I think there's a conspiracy. Now obviously in the beginning stages, 50 years ago that probably was the way it was, but I think that since then that it might have actually changed, and you can get a lot more done in a lot shorter amount of time using a keyboard. So I wanted to sort of go through just exactly what the things are that I've learned that this Korg can do. Now, I already showed people that you can go on YouTube and then you can look up Instrumental Pop Collections Volume. You have to say it exactly like that, and then all the pop collections will pop up. Now, all of these are basically 70% of them are songs that you've never heard of, 30% are songs you know that have been on the radio and were massive hits. The ones that you have heard of are usually grouped together by artist without actually naming the artist. It'll show 5 songs that you recognize, and then it will show another song. And they were all basically by the same artist without saying the artist's name exactly. Just the name of the songs are true about what the song was when it was released. Well, everything about it is there except for the voice, or any voices for that matter. It's strictly instrumental of a song that was your favorite or is your favorite. And then 70% of songs are basically that you don't know. Now, one of the things that you can do if you are seeing that there's some missing is you can type in that volume after I said what it was that I said. You can say the volume number, and if it wasn't here, you can try saying it, and more often than not, they're there. Basically, there's 125 volumes of this Instrumental Pop Collection Volume, and you have to say it in that order or it won't pull up. And then you say a number if you really want to sort of dial it in. Now that you have what it is that you want to do, you can select a song, go to the 3 dots on the side, say share, go to copy link, and then some people's phones might have more success with certain YouTube to MP3 sites and YouTube to MP4 sites than other sites. So meaning your phone might like a particular YouTube to MP3 site more than other sites. Some phones will some phones are temperamental as far as what sites it'll end up working in and what sites don't work in. So, for instance, I have trouble one day with the site, and then the next day it works all day. So, but bigconverter.com. You basically have the share button, and then you press copy, right? Paste. And now it's working. It's done. Make sure any pop-ups that show up, just close them out, and then download your file. It'll always show a second pop-up. You can press up there and delete it and go back to the original page. You should see a little thing sort of up here at the bottom saying now downloading. It might take 2 or 3 times, but usually half of the time it'll do it on the first time you press the green button. Half of the time it'll do it on the second time. Almost never it does it 3 times later. But it's supposed to do that. Now you can close it by doing the box at the top where you can press the back button and it'll exit that pop-up screen. But anyways, now it's in my download files. Right here. So this is what I wanted to show you as far as what you can do now with putting it through on the Korg-Kross. So what I'm basically going to do is show you how to do it. And I'm going to do it as fast as I can, but basically you got to watch the tutorials and read the book, but on how to work your microphone, and then you get it to where it's basically working. And then and there's 2 speakers over there that I have. Now, the cord didn't come with this. I had to order it online, so make sure that you know that there's these available. And then that was like $7, and then goes in. I had to trade out my other microphone because it was a condenser microphone, not a dynamic microphone. Those are upwards of 100 to 3,000. This was 20 to 100, and I got the best one because Fred let me just trade it straight across. So I paid a lot, paid $80, and then he gave me a $90 one because he was feeling like he was in a good mood. Well, it's all very scary. I know I was scared too, but basically what you're looking at is 3 things that you're going to want to be able to do if you're going to want to make your own song. Now, you're wondering why it was I did this. There's many different reasons on why it would be why you want to download these instrumentals. But first and foremost, it'll basically let you get used to the concept of when you're listening to it, you can hear multiple layers after you have a Korg-Kross. They jump out. You're a different person. You used to be someone that just listened to someone's voice, and then you try to sing along and you impress somebody in the car. And now that you actually own a Kross, everything jumps out in a different way, and everything is layers. You basically have all of those layers and then some. You got to consider that these are made later than those songs, so the options that happen when you get a Korg-Kross, it's made in 2017, is its special capabilities, its special effects capabilities are more. So you have what they have most likely, no offense to them, but most likely more than what they had as far as options on cute, pretty sound effects. So what you have is bells, organ, piano, all the instruments made in the whole world you have at your disposal. Now this Korg-Kross basically has one layer always whenever you even select any one of these, and then after a selection it'll show you basically 100 different bell options. Now this is Enchanted Bell, and watch what it will do. It'll do that all day. It doesn't stop. It's a special selection. It has a special. Um, um, this is drum track. This is harp track. Each one of these, all of them get a drum track no matter what. And the maker of the machine made it so that it comes with a secret layer just as a compliment to you out the gate. So this is, for instance, Legend Bells, right? Now this is, and it'll automatically, if it has one, and it'll show it lights blinking. So it's going to basically automatically go into a drum track. And that's just a layer. It'll stay that way. You can technically press record and have it start listening, or you can send this layer to a drum track and it'll be a layer. And you can set it up as one layer out of 16. Now, there's Enchanted Bell that is also what I was just showing you. Now this is telling you that it's in the harp track. This also has a drum track too. And that's basically what you're going to get. Now the harp track is cool because watch. Now listen. Its harp track goes an entirely new way. Watch. It leaves those alone and fades into a lower harp track to the Enchanted Bell option. Now, that's one thing you can do, and then what you can do is you can figure out which one of these you use, but if you want to know, it's active sampler, and then you gotta, everything is cut. The only thing that you have to decode is when you have to hold down the shift button, and then hold down one of these, and then it'll say, save to which drum. And then you basically select which drum, it'll light up, and then that's how you do one layer. Now, technically, if you want to, for instance, I can do shift audio and or I can do let's see, exit, and then I can do shift this and then function, create new audio song, and then number 13. Now I basically have this new song that I just got done recording, right? So instead of using the memory card, if you really just want to bypass that altogether, you just arm it. It's set when I press a key. Don't press it hard, press it light. Now, when you're done and you press exit, it'll save it automatically. Now, when you want to send it over to your drum track, you basically hold shift down and press autoplay active, and it's showing you now all the different pods. Now, you just scroll to one that's empty, which would be 13, and you say edit, and then you say enter, and it says which song do you want to send over to. We just did 13, and then you say enter, and then now okay, so now it's in 13. Now listen. And I don't have to hold it down if I don't want to. But what I can do now is, if I want to add to that, now I can technically select shift and function. Exit. Shift and function. or no, okay, so go back to exit, and then go, sort of, stop, and then, exit, shift, active sampler, and then do exit. Now I pressed shift function. I was supposed to press shift this, and then I can actually arm it again, and I'm on Enchanted Bells already. And testing, 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 testing. Press stop. Now I can exit out of it and then go back to all of my drum tracks. Now, once I'm there, and then I can basically go to 14, which is the next one over, and then say edit, and then say, hold on. Go to 15, and then say edit, and then say enter, and then go to the same one, new song wave, and then say enter, and then on 14, and then exit out, and then it'll execute it. And then in 15, where I sent it just now. Now it's the original track, right? Now at about 20 seconds is when I started adding to the song. Testing, 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 testing. So once you get all the buttons just ironed out exactly right, and it's this much difficult, pretty much the capacity is you can download someone's fully rendered instrumental audio and add or sign it over to yourself and sing on top of it, basically any lyrics that you want. But if you don't want to do that, because remember when I said it's okay to trace over someone's hand if you're really learning how to draw, and then if you trace your first picture and then you want to learn how to draw later, it doesn't mean that you were cheating, it means you were learning. Well, if you wanted some encouragement on how to make it a song for yourself, you can download these off of YouTube while you still can. And then after you get the hang of it, you can use a bass layer since it has thousands to choose from. And then there's also the drum track that allows you to add temporary drums, like on a completely separate section than the original drum track, which is up to 14 seconds. So that when you're listening to songs and sometimes there's just this immediate sort of like accelerated place, well, on a layer, you can just play through particular layers that you shortened into a drum track and then use those while then reselect. So you select these, it's playing, and then you go out of here and go to a different drum track where it does all of these are 14 seconds, and there's 8 letters, so 16 times 8 of how many different drum tracks you can use while your layer is finalized. So basically what you heard here, except you press a drum and you can hold it, you can hold it down and it'll do a spit up process. So if you have 3 verses in a song and they're not all like this, sometimes there's a part where it goes like this and it cuts off, meaning the song has a spot where she kind of stops singing, but then all of a sudden goes like that. Well, that's where you can finalize the song and sort of make accelerated sections by just switching from pressing this to making this just strictly layers to switching to a different mode to where these become accelerated or decelerated sort of impromptus on what it is you chose to put there in the first place on your favorite sort of background effects from all of the layers from the harp and the drum track.